Hey everyone, welcome back to PrepWorks Tutoring. Today we're going to have a video covering operations with rational and irrational numbers. If you haven't seen our video on the set of real numbers, I highly recommend you watch that first. It's going to be linked in the comments below. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So let's just say we had two rational numbers. So we had rational number plus rational number. That's going to equate to a rational number. As well as if we had a rational subtracted by a rational, we're also going to get a rational number. Now let's have a couple examples with this just to illustrate. So let's say we had 1/2 plus 1/2. That's going to equate to 1. So 1/2 is a rational number because it can be expressed as, let's say, 0.5, excuse me, and it's a decimal that terminates. So by the terminating rule, it works as a rational number. And also because it can be expressed as both an integer in the numerator and an integer in the denominator. Now this also works with subtraction. So let's just say we had 2/3 subtracted by 1/3. That's going to give us 1/3. And 1/3 is also 0.333 repeating. So since it's repeating, it's going to be a rational number. Now let's move on to, let's say we had two irrational numbers. So we could have pi plus pi, and this is going to give us 2 pi, which is the same as 6.283185, and this is just going to continue going. So it's not going to repeat or terminate, which means it's irrational. Now it can also be rational. So for instance, let's say we had pi minus pi. Well, if we take pi away from pi, you're just taking the same value away from the current value. So we're going to have 0, and this is going to be rational. We know that 0 is a rational number because it is terminating. So if we're to express this as a decimal, it'd be something like 0.0, and this terminates. Now let's move on to a irrational and rational number. So we're going to have 5 plus square root of 2. That's going to give us 6.4142. And this is just going to keep repeating. Now, the case here is that this is represented as a whole number. So like a whole number, 1 point, and then a bunch of decimals. So this 5 is only going to affect this whole number, which means that you can see how 5 plus 1 is the 6. And then all this is just not affected, which means that's the example which can show you that it's going to be a rational value. So this does not repeat. Now, let's say you had something like 7 minus pi. Well, in this case, you would have 3.8584, and this would continue going on. And so it does not repeat or terminate, which means this is irrational. So in both of these examples, up here, in both of these examples, the values are going to be irrational. So whenever you have an irrational and rational number, when you do addition and subtraction, it's going to give you an irrational value. All right, moving on. Let's move on to multiplication. Two rational numbers, 8 times 6. Both of these values are whole numbers, so they are rational. That's going to give you a whole number of 48, so that's rational. 1/3 times 1/3. We've already covered why 1/3 is a rational number. That's going to give us 1/9, which is that's going to be repeating. And also because it's also expressed as integer. So this is an integer, and this is an integer. And so this is a rational example. So when you have a rational multiplied by a rational, that's going to give you a rational value. Let's keep going. Now let's just go with a irrational number and another irrational number. So square root of 5 times square root of 5. Both irrational numbers. That's going to give us the whole number of 5. And this is going to be rational. Let's say we had square root of 5. Oops. Actually, let's just do pi. We can do pi times square root of 2. That's going to give us 4.442, and this is going to continue. It's not going to terminate or repeat, which means that this is irrational. So this is irrational, and this is rational. So as we can see in this case with multiplication, when you have two irrational numbers, the case can be made that the final value will be both rational and irrational. So the possibility of it being rational and Also, irrational is possible. All right, now let's move on to a irrational number and a rational number. So let's say we had 5 multiplied by square root of 2. That's going to give us 7.071067, and this is going to repeat. And let's say we had 2 times pi. Well, that's going to give us 9.4247, and this is going to continue. So in both of these examples, these two values are irrational. And we can see, because the decimals don't terminate or repeat, that makes that value a irrational number. So when you multiply an irrational by a rational, so irrational, I for irrational, times a rational number, you're going to get a irrational value. Alrighty, so now we're going to go into division. So let's say we had 63 as a whole number. Oops, it's going to write. If we had 63 divided by 7, that's going to give us 9. So we can see how this is a whole number. These are whole numbers as well. So this is rational. And then that's the same case if we use something like fractions. So 4/5, integer over integer, that's going to be rational. Divide this by, let's say, 6/7. And then we're going to get, that's the same as 24 over 35, which is the same as 0.93333. That's repeating. So since it repeats, we can say that this is rational. So now we know that a rational divided by a rational will always be rational. Let me change colors here. Let's come over here. All right, so let's say we had 2 irrational numbers. Well, let's see what happens. Let's say we had 3 pi divided by pi. So both these numbers are irrational. Equals 3. Well, 3 is rational. So this is interesting because there might be a pattern forming here. Now let's just take another example for, let's say, square root of 2. And we divide this by pi. That's going to give us 0.450158, and that repeats. So what's interesting here is that this value is irrational, but this one up here is rational, which means that like addition and subtraction as well as multiplication, for division, when you have 2 irrational numbers, in this case, irrational divided by irrational, is always going to give you either a rational number or a irrational number. Now that may look like division, so that might not be clear, or irrational. All right, moving on. Switch back to the blue. Now let's say we had an irrational and a rational number. Let's say we had rational number 8 and divide this by pi. That's going to give us 2.54647. This is repeating. We know this is going to be an irrational number. Now, it doesn't matter which way you put it, so it could be irrational divided by irrational or irrational divided by irrational. So we'll do another example with the irrational number first. So square root of 2 divided by 4, that's going to be 0.3535, and this is repeating. And like the other examples we've seen before, this is going to be irrational. So what does this conclude? Well, this tells us that a irrational divided by a rational, or this works vice versa, will always give us a irrational number. Now I encourage you to go back in the video just to review the examples, because I'm going to sum up all the rules here now. So whenever you have 2 rational numbers, so a rational and a rational, and you undergo addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, the numbers will always be rational. So this will always be rational. Now, let's say you had 2 irrational numbers, so an irrational and another irrational. If you undergo the same operations, the answer can be both rational and irrational. And finally, if we have an irrational and a rational value, we undergo those same operations, we're going to get something that is always irrational. And so you can definitely see the pattern here. I think it's very useful. You don't have to memorize this, but it's just useful to see how the patterns between, let's say you had two rational numbers, it's always going to be rational. If you had two irrational numbers, it could be both rational and irrational. And then if you had an irrational and a rational number, it's always irrational. This is just something to keep in mind as you work into higher mathematics. And I think it's very important for you to learn the fundamentals of this for algebra. So yeah, thank you for watching and have a great day.